After you have your project and everything set up, we're going to go ahead and begin to draw our cars. So to start out, what we're going to do is hit Start a 2D Sketch from the 3D Modeling tab here. And we're going to select the YZ plane. So that's going to be our side view of our car. So we'll click that. So once you see your origin appear, what you're going to want to do is to go up to where it says Insert and use the Insert Image button right here. We're going to click on that. And then you're going to select your car side view, which you should have placed in the project folder you created in an earlier step. So we're going to select that view and hit Open. So now, as you can see, if I zoom out, you can see the outline of the image itself. You want to make sure that when you place your image in, that you place the picture right at the origin. So as you see, when I bring my mouse over top, it turns green. So when you see that little green dot, you want to go ahead and click that. That will place your drawing of your car in. Now, as you can see, I've cropped my image down so that way it is basically just the outline of my car that we see. So now, since I know, because of my dimensioning here, that my car is 80 millimeters, I can dimension that by just clicking the dimension tool and then clicking the line at the bottom here. I can make that 80 millimeters. So that now has scaled my picture to the size it needs to be. Now, if your picture didn't come in exactly the same way here, you can always go ahead and rotate it by using the Rotate tool, which is located right up here. So to do that, what you can do is click on Rotate, select the picture, then come back over where it says Center Point, click the little arrow right there, and then pick a point on your image you want to rotate around. Typically, I recommend you use the origin, and then once you click on the origin, this little warning box will pop up, and then you just hit yes, and then yes again, and that will let you then freely rotate it around, or you can type in a number, any number that you want over in this little box here to get it to rotate. But because mine came in the way I wanted it to, I'm not going to rotate it, so I'll just cancel that out. So at this stage, now we have the side view of our car, dimensioned to the size it needs to be. So now I can start to use some of my tools, my drawing tools, to trace my car. So I'm going to start out by drawing my bottom line here of my car. I'm going to use the line tool. I'm going to go ahead and click right about where it starts, so right about there. And then I'll drag that all the way out to the back side. And I will just continue going around my car. Now, as you can see here, I have something of a little bit of an arc right here. I'm not sure what that is, so what I'm going to do is just use my arc tool, which is right up here between the circle and rectangle tools. And I will use that to create myself a similar arc. I can zoom in a little bit on it and place it. Now I can just go ahead and click one more time, and that creates a nice smooth arc for me. So then I can switch again right back to my line tool and work myself down around my vehicle. Now, before continuing around here, I have a very circular portion on my car. So the front bumper is very circular. So what I'm going to do here actually is use the circle tool, and I will bring that to right around where the center of my circle would be, and then drag outwards to create the circle of my bumper. So now to connect this point and this point here, you see I have a nice long arcing line here. It's not a straight line, it's just a little bit of a curved line. I'm going to go ahead and use my arc tool again, and I'll click somewhere near my circle. Then I'll click over where it ends at my windshield, and I'll just make that a nice smooth curve. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but if I zoom in right here on the front, you can see that my arcing curve doesn't quite become tangent with my circle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them tangent by using a constraint. So if you look up here next to the dimension tool, you'll see these tiny little red and black icons. These are constraints that you can use to make your sketches more controlled. So if I want this line to be tangent to this circle, all I need to do is click on this guy right here as a tangent constraint. And I can click on the line and the curve, and it will make them tangent. So now instead of it just ending abruptly at the curve, it will now just smoothly flow into the curve that goes around. So then to finish out my design, I'm just going to continue with one more line that comes from here up into my circle. So now I have the complete shape of the side of my car. One final thing I need to do before continuing is to trim out the rest of this little circle here so I have just one shape, not two separate shapes. So to do that, what I will do is I'll go up here to the Modify panel and I will click on the Trim tool. And I will do one more thing, and I will click on the back side of that circle, and that just cuts that extra little bit out of it that I don't need anymore. So at this stage, we are ready to finalize our car and then go ahead and extrude the width of it. You might notice that I have not done anything with my wheel wells yet or my axle holes, which that's fine. I'm not going to do that until a later step. So I'm going to go ahead and click Finish Sketch. Zoom out a little bit. Click my Extrude button. And then I will extrude my car the width that I had placed on my drawing, which was 25 millimeters. And I will hit Enter. And so there I have my finished car body. This concludes the end of the second video on how to draw the side view of your car. Our next video will go over how to put the axle holes and wheel wells in the vehicle.